The lost city of Alexandria might have possibly been found. We're talking about an over 2,000-year-old civilization possibly has been uncovered. To add to that, scientists have found a prehistoric forest, a complete forest underground in Antarctica that apparently has just been uncovered recently. But there's been signs about this for a long darn time. And apparently complaining weakens your brain. Who would have thought? So yeah, guys, you heard it. Complaining weakens the brain. Complaining weakens the brain. Yeah, that's not something that we have to really analyze. I mean, that's pretty much obvious. That's why you always see people who complain about shit still in the same freaking hole. Because they focus more time worried about the shit ain't working for them than actually trying to fix the problem. I mean, honestly, that's today's world anyway, you know? So just imagine the massive scale of people that are probably running at about 40% capacity every day, all right? Struggling with their own inner demons on top of that. I mean, it's a vicious cycle, you know? And now more than ever that scientists are actually trying to analyze these particular things, you know? I've always said the way you focus and the way you behave, you know, your values, you know, how you process information, whether it's good or bad. You know, I always said that had something to do with us and how we function as people every single day. So it really doesn't surprise me that complaining weakens the fucking brain. All right? Stop fucking complaining and get your asses up there. Do what you got to do. All right? That's how it is, man. That's how it is. I got kids and, I got friends and stuff like that. And, and everyone has their own way of living. And so I observe it all. And I can honestly tell you which ones are going to get further, which ones are not going to go too far, right? I also know, just from meeting somebody, their first impression usually tells me a lot about them. Okay, so that's just one thing, amongst a entire array of different types of personalities and behaviors that can be harming you or affecting you in one way or another. Not complaining, right? If she broke up with you, don't complain. Got to get up to go to work. Don't complain. Your check sucks. Don't complain. Just go get more. Right? I mean, that's usually how it should be, right? I mean, I doubt many people will understand that because you know how they always say, well, it's easier said than done. No, it's exactly as it's said. Stop complaining. Get out there and get it. Get it. It's not going to go anywhere if you don't go get it. It's going to sit there and it's going to linger and no one's going to do anything about it. There was a quote that I heard, I believe Denzel Washington. Do not hold me to this. I'm not sure exactly who said it. But it was the words that resonated with me the most. And it was, he said that you don't want to wake up, all right, at 60 years old and regret your life. And then he added more to this, and this is not paraphrasing. This is literally going off of what I can remember. He said, if you're ever once on your deathbed, and you're replaying your life. He said, make it one that's valuable to you, right? Make it one that, has no regret in it, right? And that's my fuel. That's how I feel about shit. When I'm about to complain, when I'm about to get to that point where I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm not going to work, or fuck this shit. I'm going to go wherever. I think about that. When you are on your last breath, will everything that you have done in your life been worth it to you? Not to anybody else, but to you. You know? I don't know. Because, you get into these little conversations with people, and sometimes you'll get far with them, but sometimes it takes them a while to understand it. I myself was one of those that complained about everything and didn't focus much on, what I had. It was always about what I didn't have, right? And so, yeah, I changed that. And if I can do it, everyone else can. Trust me. I know this firsthand, guys. All right. The lost city of Alexandria. Now, I'm not a big history buff. I don't fuck around with history. Like, I don't really know much about, like, I don't go into detail about stuff, but this one kind of got me because we're talking about the lost city of Alexandria, right? So for those that don't know, the lost city of Alexandria is over 2,000 years old. And they're saying, scientists, by the way, they're saying that they've uncovered this lost city. They were able to map it, and they said that it's about the size of Maine. Do you know how big Maine is? It don't gotta be that big. But what I'm saying is that the lost city of Alexandria has been this almost folklore, right? No one has ever seen it. No one has ever talked about this, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, they've uncovered it. Now, they might have their reasons. I believe it, sort of. There's a lot of conflict going on, in that area. So it made it very difficult for people to kind of go there and, explore and try to figure out what's going on. But the fact that this huge civilization has been underground for so long, right? And no one has ever thought to look is mind-blowing to me. Makes me almost feel like they've already known it was here. It's almost like, oh, well, might as well let it out, And then I hear other people talking about how it's because of the Epstein files and shit. And so, like, that's why people are just kind of seeing all these new discoveries coming out, Like, it makes you question everything when you see these new discoveries just coming out of nowhere. Speaking of that, Antarctica, they just uncovered another piece of land in Antarctica that is, I believe it's on the west side. Don't quote me on that again. But I believe it's on the west end. I'm calling it like a Chicago. What the fuck? On the west side. Yeah. So they found this old prehistoric civilization on the west side of Chicago. Okay, sorry, I digressed. Back to what I'm trying to say. So yeah, they found a prehistoric fucking civilization in motherfucking Antarctica. Now, these are the things that I've gathered from this. First off, I spoke to a credible source that said this is old news. None of this is new, right? We've all known this for a while. Now, I'm not directly relating it to the Great Wall, I think, the ice wall or whatever the fuck. That's not what it is. This is actually underground, and it is in an open area, like huge open area. And what they're saying is that prehistoric civilization is there. But there's a story backdated, and I'm trying to find it. If I do, I'll post it on the comments later, but I haven't been able to find it. I've looked everywhere. But there is a pilot that flew over this particular place that they're talking about now, and that he was told by military personnel to turn away. He is over restricted air. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. So now that this is going on, it again opens a ton of questions. It floods with questions. Why? Because, first off, why wait this long to publicly and officially talk about this? And second, does it have anything to do with the shit that's going on around here? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't like to use names anymore. because every time I do, it seems like, people don't like it. And that's fine. I don't have to say names. If you have followed me long enough, and if you're very in tune with what's going on around the world, then this will resonate. If it doesn't, then this wasn't for you. It's okay. You don't have to get mad and get in my comments about something you don't understand, right? You can go about it in your own way. But anyways, besides the point of all of that, so now we have 2 lost cities in the world right now that are being uncovered. Prehistoric city or prehistoric civilization in Antarctica, as well as possibly Alexandria. Honestly, I feel like this is all a distraction. I really do. All right? Because if that's not enough, now we got Trump talking about he's going to release these UFO fucking... he's going to declassify all this UFO nonsense, right? What? All right, first off, let me explain this. When did this all occur? Right? When did suddenly now we're becoming so liberal with letting go of UFO files, the Epstein files, the every single files, your mother's files, like everyone's files are just being thrown out there. Why is it now that all this shit is just like crashing down on us? You got to think about that type of shit, people. I'm not saying be a conspiracy theorist, but I am saying almost every conspiracy that I've heard in my lifetime have come to the truth, have come to the light, have become reality. Okay? So understand that for a person that's been around this long, me, and have seen so many things happen in my lifetime, all right, yeah, I'm going to question shit nowadays. I'm going to question it. Why the fuck wouldn't I question it? Right? You ain't going to fucking help me figure shit out. Everyone has to do their own research. But the question is, are you going to do the right research? Oftentimes people go searching for shit, right? And they always end up in these rabbit holes. You know why you end up in these rabbit holes? Because you want to find something that you like. Not everything you find online is going to be what you want, okay? Let's say, for example, if Antarctica's prehistoric thing becomes reality, then, do your research on it. Figure it out. What's going on over there? Why is it that it took this long? Like, you get what I'm saying? Don't go down a rabbit hole, because the more you fall into that hole, the harder it is for you to get out of it, so to speak, right? Because then once you start believing one thing, the next rumor becomes even more realer. And then the next one, it's almost like a cause and effect thing, all right? Do your research, people. Biggest problem we have in this society today is nobody fucking asks the right questions. Everybody wants to know where the UFOs are at. Well, how about if I told you 90% of these sightings that you see are military projects just unfolding in front of your eyes? What if I told you that? What are you going to do then? Oh, yeah, right. You would say that. It's just a military project. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's a military project, bruh. Most of these can be proved because they're military projects. All right? Whether they wanted you guys to see it, maybe. Whether you guys stumbled upon something that you shouldn't have seen, maybe. But is it aliens? Not always. I have a reservation in my heart for alien life on another planet. I do believe that somewhere in this vast space, there has to be something else. But they're not just hovering over your fucking house, abducting you to do weird shit and then put you back in there, you nutsack. It's not how it works. Maybe a little bit, but no. I doubt it. Okay? I really, really, really doubt it. I'm going to say. Speaking of distractions, and speaking of distractions, the reason why I do firmly believe that this is a distraction the Antarctica thing, the fucking the Alexandria, all these new founded UFO files. Trump wanting to declassify all of UFO documents or what the fuck. That's a distraction. All right. It's a fucking distraction. I'm going to keep saying it. There's a war. We're at a brink of a war in Iran right now, right at this very moment. But you got people over here worried about a UFO, worried about the Epstein files, worried about what this politic gonna do to that politic. Okay? Worried about what bill gonna be passed to what bill. You being occupied with things to do. So you don't see the bigger picture that's happening before your eyes. All right? I don't get paid for any of this. Telling you these things are just me speaking to you guys. This is not funded by anybody. All of this is me. Everything you see here, this is me. But if no one actually starts to talk about certain things and tries to address certain things, then we're never going to get anywhere. And there's been tons of whistleblowers, tons of people that have been able to get, very talented people that gathered good information, to kind of like decipher and kind of analyze what these big words that are on the Epstein files, for example, mean. Okay? People jump to conclusions way too fast. They see a name and automatically, boom. And you know what? For the most part, any name you see on an Epstein files, yeah, of course, that's a bad look. But what is it saying? Is it an accusation? Is it just that he was around a certain time or she was around a certain time, with Epstein? Like, who knows, right? I honestly feel like these are distractions. They're letting off all of these different things sequentially to kind of distract you from everything else that's going on in the United States, okay? In the United States. The biggest thing that I've heard from the Epstein files is him being alive. And there's a lot of shit on the Epstein files. But the biggest thing that I have been able to analyze is the whole thing about him being alive. It's a document. This is a full-blown document dated the day before his death. Freeze it, screenshot it, do what you got to do. Read it. They addressed his death a day before he died. Now, why was that? Why did they do that? What was the purpose of him doing that? Or whoever did do that? It opens up more questions. Epstein was a very rich guy. He had a lot of money. He had a lot of people. He had a lot of power. What makes you think this guy is not living right now, in real time, in another country? Who's to say Ghislaine or Ghislaine, whatever the fuck that dumbass hoe's name is? Who knows if that's even her inside of the jail? What if that's a doppelganger? We don't know. Have you read the Epstein files? I mean, fucking Jeffrey Epstein is the creator of Bitcoin. Forever, no one knew who the fuck that damn masked person was. Okay? And then suddenly, boom, it's in the files. Creator of Bitcoin. Oh, it's working very well. I'll put up a screenshot of the file so you can see for yourself. It's an official document stating that he was that famous masked character who created the Bitcoin. So, like it's a little breadcrumbs, little leads here and there that should make you question everything else that's happening around the world. You think about it. You got a man so powerful with so much money, and he's over here, okay, contemplating and setting up his own exit out of prison. Let's say that's the truth. Let's say that is proven. that changes everything. That changes everything. It's not going to be the same because now every single thing that you hear a politic say or any single thing that you see go wrong in this world, in our world, in the United States, you're going to question it. You're not going to believe that shit. You kidding me? Fuck all that. Fuck all that. Yeah, them Epstein files, man. They be, those Epstein files were, they've been taking over this entire year so far. It's all you fucking hear is the Epstein files here, the Epstein files there. Someone uncovers this, someone uncovers that. Another person is named. Ellen DeGeneres is a cannibal. You think that? You think she is? Let's analyze that for a second. Do you think Ellen DeGeneres is a cannibal? Well, there are hints. It might be possible. But I wouldn't know, right? Because I'm not in that world. I'm not in Hollywood, right? So I don't know people. I can't go ask somebody, right? So all I'm going to say is maybe she could be a cannibal. She could be eating baby feet, which is disgusting and horrible. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form making fun of that. But I am trying to get people to understand. Open your fucking eyes. And what do you think she is? Do you think she's a cannibal? Are there any signs that say that? These are things that everyone should be thinking about. So before you drop any kind of knowledge, post any kind of comment, say anything, make sure that you're right. Because it'll blow right back at you. All right? It's going to blow back. And then you're going to be left in the middle of it, looking like a psychopath. Anyways, yeah, it's, it's been a crazy week for me. I flew out to Chicago. It was a long week. I worked last week and I got all the way through the week. And then like halfway in, I was just, hit with some stuff that I had to take care of. And so, if I was to say it was a very challenging week, starting Wednesday of last week all the way until today. Very challenging. When I came back, I didn't think it was going to be that tough. But, every time I come back from like a little vacation or something, I got to adjust. But it's safe to say I didn't adjust this week at all. This entire week was just one thing after another, both personal and professional. And then, bam, it's Friday. And I should feel better about it, but it's like I don't feel that good about fucking Friday. I just don't. I'm doing this today, and this makes me feel a little bit better. But professionally, it was a rough week. Rough week. The Chicago trip was amazing, though. The food out there. Shout out to Station 1. You guys have amazing barbecue. And I'm a Texas guy. And so to have a brisket from this particular establishment, let me tell you, I wanted to go back there and just take the whole brisket tray with me, right? That's what I felt like doing at first, but I knew that it'd probably call the cops and all this shit. So I refrained from that. But damn it, Station 1 has fire barbecue. Big recommendation. If you guys are in Chicago and you're in the Naperville area, even if you're like close to Plainfield or something, go that way. And I know before any Chicagoans get in here, go, oh, that's Chicago, bro. It's the suburbs of Chicago. Deal with it. Live with it. No, I think it's funny though. A lot of times people like, where you from? You from Chicago? And they'd be like, well, not me, but just in general, people. This is how they do over there. Oh, where you from? Oh, I'm from Chicago. Oh yeah, what part? Naperville. That ain't Chicago. Yeah. You ain't no Chicagoan. Well, let me tell you something. Not everybody wants to be one. Not everybody wants to be from Chicago. Nobody wants to live out there like that, okay? If you live in Chicago, it's because you work there. All right? It's like Connecticut. I'm not taking shots at nobody. I'm saying even Connecticut. You come to Connecticut for a job. All right? You don't come here to raise a full-blown family unless you're fucking rich. You know? And even then, you guys, rich people get fucked every day with taxes in Connecticut. That's a whole nother story. And I can tell you why, but I'm not going to. I can tell you why rich people in Connecticut get taxed like a fuck, but I'm not going to tell you. Go figure it out. But yeah, Chicago was cool. I had fun. It was a lot warmer than I expected, and normally Chicago's fucking freezing, dude. But Chicago was actually good. I was very happy about that. That helped me a lot. What's crazy is I got all fucking like bundled up because Connecticut is fucking freezing every day, even in the summertime. And I went and I said this is the smartest thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just go ahead and put Under Armours on. I'm gonna fucking put some sweatpants on. I even threw a little fucking button up with a jacket over that son of a bitch. By the time I made it to Chicago, I was stripping clothes off. Okay? This is February in Chicago, and we got 60-degree weather. I'm not complaining, but God damn it, I didn't get prepared for this shit. So now I'm walking around while everybody's enjoying this shit, and I'm over here with sweatpants and a fucking t-shirt on. Like, did I just get out of jail? Was that what it? I look like I just walked out of county. That's what I look like. But whatever, it's cool. Not even tripping. It was an amazing trip regardless. Shout out to everybody out there. And definitely, y'all, Station 1 was a great fucking place, man. I love that place. Recommend it. I'm going back. Every time I go there, that's exactly where I'm going to stop. Station fucking 1. Yeah, man. So I think I started watching this show called Studio with Seth Rogen. I believe he created it. I don't know. I was just on Apple TV or whatever, and bam, it popped up, and I clicked on it, and I'm about 6 episodes in. Now, I'm gonna be honest though, I'm not watching it like that. Okay, it's like it's almost as if like it's there, right? And so anytime that I am looking up at the TV, at least I know it's there. It's a good show. I love it so far, but I don't love it at the same time, right? Because like it's not action, although they do have some scenes. It's nothing like what I've watched before. But this is what gets me. Seth Rogen is a genius when it comes to directing and producing, okay? And we know that. We know that. Seth Rogen is my buddy. I love that guy. But I will say this. His angles and in the way that he's telling this story with the cameras is fucking genius. You don't normally see that, right? So that right there is worth the watch. Just to see a refreshing take on storytelling by a camera. I'm a photographer. I shoot film. I love to see this kind of shit. This is like what I like. So automatically, that's what sold me about even trying to watch this show. But now as I keep going, it's funny. It's got his laugh. It's got his, it's got his like sad, dramatic stuff in there. It's definitely worth a watch. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to give anything away, but if you guys want to watch that is, or if you're looking for something to watch, that right there is absolutely a good one. Studio, and Seth Rogen stars in it. I believe he built the shit. I think that's his TV series. So shout out to him for that one. That shit was fire. Hey, and also, I've been watching this older show called Manifest. Now that shit is kind of cool too. I'm not big on this sci-fi bullshit. I'm not, okay? Despite me talking about UFOs and shit. No, I'm not really big on the sci-fi thing. I don't have like these fantasy games, but I will tell you this. Manifest is dope. It is. Shout out to the whole cast. Everybody out there. Yo, you guys out there, the Manifest cast is amazing because there's this one character. I'm not giving shit away. There's this one character in there that I don't really like, but he's main character. And he's, obviously he's part of this story. And every time I see him, I go, this son of a fucking B. You know what I mean? Like, you are such a fucking B. But he's like great, you know? And then I think about it, I was like, well, if his job was probably to make me hate you, that's the job. Because he's obviously not the good guy. And there's like this mixed thing going on there. So it's like, and again, I don't want to give out the names, but I will give you some of the descriptions. So this particular person is just like on and off. He's either good or bad, but you can't ever tell, right? And it pisses me off. It fucking pisses me off. I can't do it. I can't, like, sometimes I have to, like, just like, you know what, I'm not even going to talk about him. Or I ain't even going to look at him. Like, when he comes on the screen, I go get lunch. Okay, maybe not that bad. But whatever. Shout out to all the cast, though. I really do think that they make a great crew. Together, they all have good chemistry. Every character that I've seen is amazing. Manifest is worth a watch. Pretty much, I'll give you a quick little, like, crash, like, deal on what it is, So Manifest is basically a show where some passengers got somehow stranded in this, like, time warp in the air while they were flying, right? So these passengers get on a plane and they fly out and they don't return back for 5 years. But to them, it only seemed like they've been in the air for like an hour, which is absolutely wild to me, right? That already was mind-blowing. I already said, when I first seen it happen, right, because they didn't tell me, when I seen this, I was like, they're not going to be able to tell this story. It's wild. Like, it doesn't have any, like, but somehow, some way, they're able to tie it down realistically. And that is what made me fall in love with the show in the first place. How they were so creative in bringing this very out of this world kind of idea, and then be able to, polish it and turn it into this, like, oh, this could really happen. Maybe. You never know. Maybe. I'm done. Tired. And I still got a ways to go. Be on the lookout for a recovery pod popping up on Wednesday of this coming week. It's, again, if you need the help, if you need to talk, you don't come to me. Call your hotlines. I'll recommend resources on the podcast, which is a good thing. You guys are more than welcome to take those resources and do what you got to do with them. But just remember, man, like, there's always help out there. The recovery pod is a good pod. It's funny. It's about just having a little bit of fun and taking such a serious thing as addiction and trying to, build a little bit of humor around it, right? We don't want to be scared of the stigma. Okay, so just know, if you guys need help of any kind, always reach out to your local providers. There are people out there that want to help you. There are people out there that do this for a living. So, look at your resources and see what you got. And I'll be posting some stuff too. If you're local, a lot of these resources that I'll be posting on the recovery pod, you can use immediately. So feel free to do that. That's going to do it for me, though. Is Epstein alive? You want to know what I think?